So for this video, we're going to do the clamshells. The clamshells, I'm going to combine them so that you're doing both the hip internal rotation and the hip external rotation together. So you're going to need your mini bands. For the first several times that you do this, I would suggest going with a combination of either green and yellow or two yellows. And the way it's going to work is you're going to put the slightly harder band up at your knee if you're doing two different strength bands, and then you're going to put the other one, the lighter one, down around your ankles. Once you've got the bands in position, go ahead and lie down on a side, and you want to have your hips and knees bent about 90 degrees, feet stay together, and we're going to start with the hip external rotation by lifting the top knee. When you lift that knee, make sure that you're using just the muscles from the hip and that you're not rotating from the back. So the back stays nice and still. You're going to lift that knee up about 2 fist width and then come right back down. So it's squeeze through the glute, lift about 1 to 2 fist width, slow and controlled, let it come back down. That's your hip external rotation. Once you've done the prescribed number of those, then you're going to go ahead and lift your ankle up until you have a little tension on the band. This is where we're going to work internal rotation of the hip by lifting that foot against the rotation up just a little bit higher, coming back down, but keeping the tension on. So you don't want to drop your foot all the way down. Start where there's tension, rotate, the knees stay together, let it come back down, and repeat. And with this one, make sure that you're, again, still just using the muscles from deep within the hip and that you're not pulling the hip or the spine to make that foot lift. So quick review: external rotation of the hip, lift the top knee, keep the feet together, make sure that you're using those muscles deep within the hip, and then internal rotation, bring the foot up until you feel tension from the band, and then rotate a little bit higher, again making sure that the motion's coming only from the hip and not from the back. Once you've done all of the repetitions that you're supposed to on this side, then you're just going to roll over to the other side, get in that same position, make sure that you support your head, and then repeat for however many reps that you're supposed to do of the clamshell with the external rotation and with the internal rotation. Make sure with those that you keep them controlled, that you're not pushing real quick against the resistance and then dropping your knees or feet back together really quick, but slow and controlled. And then once you're able to do the number of reps that you've been given with the resistance that you're using, then start to up the resistance. Always go with the heavier band on the knees if you're using two different resistance, heavier band on the knees, lighter band on the ankles.